You so much, Nick. Hey, folks, I'm Kyle Christensen, one of the product technical instructors at LightPoint. We're going to do something a little bit different this quarter and see how it goes. I will be running through the product slides, and then I will bring on the product managers to answer any questions or cover anything that I might have missed. I'd like to remind everyone that this external launch is a recorded event, and our focus is communicating with customers. So if any internally focused type questions come up, such as maybe price or sample availability, that kind of stuff, I ask that you please send us a message in parallel and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Once again, just want to keep the focus on making sure our customers get their questions answered today. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see, we have a very full agenda for you. So we actually have about 14 different products that we're going to start working through. We'll begin with track lighting / recessed. On the track lighting, we're very excited to branch out. This is a space we haven't been in before. And I think we've got a great product offering for you that really checks a lot of boxes. Performance class track light is available 12 different SKUs. This is high greater than 90 CRI. Some models are dual selectable and some are fixed wattage. They are 4 CCT selectable as well as meeting Energy Star for utility incentives. They are also available in black or white finishes. Now, in bringing this product to market, we wanted to focus on one particular compatibility of track, and that is H-track. H stands for Halo. As many of you know, there's kind of 3 standard formats: Halo, Juno, Lightolier. H-track or Halo has greater than a 50% market share. So it made a lot of sense for us and our customers to kind of focus on this first, and then we'll branch out beyond that. These are, by the way, triac dimmable, and they are 120 volt operation. Give you an idea of where we see this as a fit to our portfolio. So obviously we don't have track existing. A lot of what you're probably purchasing from us right now to support track is probably halogen and metal halide PAR lamps, in addition to the LED options that we have as screw-in retrofit options. So just further expanding your options for retrofit solutions. One of the questions I've got is how do I change the CCT or the wattage package if enabled? Very easily. So there are a couple of switches right on the back of the unit, so you can adjust those as you are installing the track head into your track. I do want to point out that 4 of the 12 SKUs are enabled with what we call zoom technology. And I'm not sure if that's proprietary to LEDVANCE, but I really haven't seen it anywhere else. So basically, they have a zoom lens similar to a camera that has multiple optical beam angle distributions from 22, I believe, up to 60 degrees, in addition to the other 8 that are fixed beam angle products. And it's very easy to dial this track light in exactly the way that you want it, because those degree hash marks are actually etched right into the product. And as you turn it, you'll actually notice there's some little stops. So that makes it even easier to set it just right for your application. This one is enabled with the zoom style optical adjustment. Very easy to change that. And as you turn it, you'll notice the aperture moves up and down. So this is fully aimable with the articulating arm, which is very strongly held in place, as well as the rotating base. So you've got a lot of flexibility in mounting and getting it just right. There is a lever on it to lock it into the track, make sure it's nice and secure. And very important, I want to point out there's an on-off dial on the side of the track light. So if you go to install it and you hit the switch and nothing turns on, double check and make sure that it's in the on position. That said, this track head is single direction because it's a 120 volt track. So it is possible to install this product backwards. So If you go to turn the switch, it doesn't turn on, you know that the switch is in the on position. Try turning that head around 180 degrees. It may not be touching a contact on the hot side. That will most likely. You know that we have several links of track as well as all of the different connectors that you need to be able to um, this into just about any new construction space. And in summary, as I mentioned, we have 12 SKUs. They are planned to have availability in June. I believe most of the reps have samples that we can start showing around. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. As I mentioned, we intend to be directly compatible with H-Track, which I know many of our distributors stock. So if you have questions about crossing this or starting to think about displays, putting this on the shelf, definitely let your LEDVANCE rep or agent partner know, and we'd be happy to help you out with that. I'd like to stop for any questions and bring the product manager, Natalia, on the call.
Hello.
Natalia, so while we're checking for any questions in the chat box, I have a question for you regarding the track accessories. Are those all going to be sold a la carte, or are some of those going to be like a kit?
I'm really happy about this. They will be sold in units. They won't be sold in pieces or kits. So you get what you want. You don't have to buy a box of 50. You can buy one each if you want it. And actually, one important thing to note about the accessories is that end caps are not included on the rail. So when you buy a rail, you get a rail. The end caps are separate because if you were included in linking them, you'd be throwing them out.
That's a very good point.
So.
And then I had a second question. I know I see a couple things coming into the chat here. Packaging. I know you worked really hard on the packaging for this product. Is this a solution if customers are looking for kind of an elegant on the shelf counter type display?
It's got a really good packaging render. One thing, and I'd be happy to share it with anyone who wants to see what our packaging looks like. So it's really holistic. It's really nice. Most of our indoor luminaire products have changed brands from Sylvania to LEDVANCE. And so this fits in nicely with everything else going on indoor.
Yeah, I see we do have some questions coming into the chat. Nick, are you able to see those?
Yeah, if you want to take them, or I can read them to you.
So I've got dual monitors. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat.
All right, so one of them, sample I have is too easy to adjust, so easy a bump would change it. Would it be changed, so it wouldn't be easily able to be bumped or adjusted?
That's actually the first time I've heard that. I know other people on this call have gotten samples. Does anybody else feel that way about samples they've seen or received?
To say that wasn't my experience. It's almost too difficult. So I wonder if maybe we gave Ken a bad sample of it.
Yep.
And get you a new sample.
All right, another question. Do you have adapters for L and J track along with the H track?
We do not currently have that. So we're H-Track compatible. The world of track lighting is wide and expansive. And so there will be additional accessories that I think are offered in the future because it seems like every time you start exploring it, there's something new that pops up in terms of beam angle or accessory pieces. But currently, no, that is not on our roadmap.
All right, and another question, is there a live end feed or a connector to connect the incoming power?
And I guess I don't live end feed or connector to connect the incoming power. I guess I don't understand the question. Do you understand it, Kyle?
So currently we don't have like connectors for MC cable or like not a mono point, but like a box connector to start. But we are looking into adding this very shortly. We know this is a common thing that you need, especially in a retrofit situation.
The product is not currently in stock, but it will be in stock in June.
That's the end of the questions. We'll move on to the next product. Sit tight, Natalia. I got. Hear me? Good. Yeah, one more product for Natalia. That is the BlazeGuard Microdisc. We're really excited about this product. So a few of the key features. So BlazeGuard Microdisc is not really a niche product. It's actually a premium version of the microdisc products that you know and love and sell every day in stock from us. This just adds some additional functionality that I think your customers are really going to like. So the first thing, the reason it's called BlazeGuard is that it is ETL tested, UL 263 standards for flame resistance. What that means is that this product is capable of withstanding flames up to 1100 degrees Celsius for at least 2 hours. Now, I know a lot of us don't have a frame of reference for how hot 1100 C is. So at that temperature, a lot of metals, including like copper and gold, would actually be a liquid at the end of this test. So that is a very, very aggressive test of a metal housing on. This is also wet location as well as rated for direct contact with insulation. Another key benefit of this product for my folks that live maybe in the northern United States, it is airtight certified in accordance with ASTM E283. Also, primarily for my friends in Canada, but could be a benefit in US, we have a heavier duty FT6 listed cable. Much like our microdisc offering that you know today, this product is also 5 CCT selectable. And once again, we don't want to think of this product as niche. We really want to think of it as a premium solution because of the added functionality, the added features to our existing portfolio. So that's definitely the way that we're kind of positioning it as an upgrade to the value-led microdisc, as well as our new performance class microdisc that I'm going to talk about in just a second. I do want to point out the CCT switch is located on the side of the junction box, so it's very easy to set that as you're doing the installation. And talking a little bit about fire safety, because I'm getting a whole bunch of questions about this. So basically, the National Electric Code is written by an organization called the National Fire Protection Association. And what the concern is with recessed lighting is that the number one fire stopping material in our homes and our buildings is drywall or gypsum board. And what happens with recessed is we cut a big hole in that fire stopping. And so as anybody's plastic fixture melts away in a fire situation, it opens up the ceiling cavity above. So potentially that allows flames to spread to other parts of the building or toxic gases to move between rooms. Just all around, being able to keep that drywall intact is kind of the overarching goal of BlazeGuard, and it does it very well. And that is supported by UL 263, the 1100 degrees C 2-hour test. I briefly mentioned the FT6 cable. In a nutshell, that is a thicker, heavier duty cable that is required for use in a lot of plenum, specifically in Canada, but in other areas, it is definitely a key feature potentially of the air tightness and the fire rating of this product. To the heavy duty clips on this particular microdisc. So if you have any customers who've maybe come back after buying the value edition and they torqued the springs a little too hard and they popped off, you're not going to be able to do that with this product. So very heavy duty spring loaded clips with the rubberized grip. This is one of those things you're going to install it once and it's not going anywhere. So that's another key feature of the BlazeGuard microdisc that I think your customers are really going to like. I want to show you, we did an unscientific test here at LightPoint just to kind of see what would happen with BlazeGuard. So as you can see, we applied flames directly to this. We installed it in a piece of drywall and wanted to see how much flame and heat basically made it up above into the joist cavity. And we were actually able to get all the plastic parts to completely melt away, and it left behind a beautiful, nice, clean pan, and basically totally unaffected on the sealing side. So as you can see, the gasket is a little bit shrunk from all the heat, and the cord melted maybe just a little bit, but flames never did get past the underside or the room side of the drywall. So that's that go over the top of recess cans or the special double wall recess cans that are really expensive for fire stopping. This is a very economical alternative to those types of products. Realize I had a video. So here you can see that we have myself doing a little experiment applying a torch. And we won't watch the entire video, but you can see how it went down. This is still have to tell you. Big deal. Hopefully I haven't lost connection, but
Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit.
You want me to take the reins or?
let
Yeah.
me.
And so I guess what's important to note here is that there's a lot of interest about this product, and I actually see it becoming something that's kind of going to become more of a topic here in the very near future. Right now, there are limited options of this product already on the market, but there are very few. And I think that you'll see other manufacturers start to follow in the footsteps of this. And I'm curious about how it's going to apply to other product categories. This stock is produced in Cambodia. It was produced this week. It should be here in mid-June. We'll offer it in 3, 4, 6, and 8 inches. And then another really important thing to note about this is that we're offering this currently in 120 volt only. We're going to start offering this in 120 to 277 volt starting in July, because we're going to swap the drivers locally. We've got an ETL listed facility where we can do that in our distribution center. So we've got the product certified, and the drivers to allow the voltage swap are going to be in stock in Kentucky in July. So I'm really happy about that, and that's an immediate line extension we're doing. Another thing I wanted to say about this is that this product, there are trims that are 80% compatible. They're not entirely compatible with this product. And if anybody wants to see what that looks like, I'd be happy to send you a version of a trim. We've got them in black, white, and bronze. Black, nickel, and bronze, I guess is the right way to say it. But otherwise, we'll go from the range of 3 to 8 inches and 500 to 1600 lumens, and they're all CCT selectable. Did you guys have any other questions about this product for me? Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kyle. I think we're
Okay.
losing you a little bit. There is a question, is there a UL type of test video for BlazeGuard?
So I can send you Kyle's video, and I'm also having a product video made in which it's actually torched in a photo studio. So they're doing the shooting of that today. I'll be happy to send it to anyone who will watch. And if you meant more holistically, what are the UL testing standards for UL 263? I can send you them. They're very stringent. And so UL is really, I guess, conservative in how they do stuff. But there are testing standards that are available that I could send you if you were curious.
And then one of the questions that were answered in the chat, is there a display coming? And thanks, Sally, for answering that. Yeah, there will be a display coming. It'll have BlazeGuard and microdisc together.
Yep, so it'll have this one and the next product we're going to talk about, as well as the gimbal, which I don't think is going to be presented here today.
You guys able to hear me now?
Yes.
I'm like, I can hear you guys crystal clear.
Interesting.
Who knows? I turned
Okay.
off my webcam. It might have been too much bandwidth.
That's all the questions that I see for this product.
So one of the things that I've been asked for a few times is kind of a thou shalt letter for our customers to show to contractors. Hey, you have to use BlazeGuard in the following applications. And what I would say to that, having been a former contractor myself, is I don't know if it's the way that we're wired or what, but like as soon as somebody tells us we have to do something, my mind immediately goes to, okay, what are the workarounds? How do I get out of having to do this special thing? So the way that I'm kind of positioning this product with our contractors is that all of the benefits make this kind of a premium upgrade to microdisc, and that BlazeGuard really is the workaround not only for the fire rated side, but also for the airtight and the heavy duty clips. You know, it checks a lot of boxes, and that's kind of the way that I'm moving forward and showing this product around. There are no further questions on BlazeGuard. We'll move on to the new Performance Class Slim CCT Selectable Microdisc, also a Natalia product. So Performance Class, as you recall, is the LEDVANCE, kind of our GMC of the brand strategy. So, you know, these are kind of workhorse type products, just kind of check a lot of different boxes. It's a great product to stock. So class, we're going to have everything that you know and love about the current value class as far as the sizes, the trims, all of those things. We are switching to a stainless steel clip, a little heavier duty, as well as that FT6 rated cable. And then I want to cover one more product real quick, and then we'll bring Natalia back. And that is we are extending our CCT selectable gimbal downlight, which has had tremendous sales when painted white. We are now going to offer that painted black as well. So just like the white ones we currently sell, there's 3 different sizes. They are wet location as well as IC rated, direct contact with insulation. 5 CCT selectable, and they are the standard 45-degree beam angle. One key differentiator between this product and similar products on the market is that domed housing up top. So a lot of our competitor products, that puck is suspended either like in a trapezoid housing or a squared off housing. And what you'll find is as you start to tilt the puck, it'll hit either the side or the back. And that'll really limit your ability to tilt the product. You might be able to get 20, 30 degrees of tilt, and that's about it. With our product, we can go nearly completely vertical. So that's great if your microdisc needs to be mounted a little bit further away from what you're trying to illuminate. You can dial it in just right and get that light exactly where you want it to be. And as I mentioned, this is in addition to the white ones that we sell presently, and it's a great add-on sale to our performance class microdiscs as well. So as far as filling out a bill of materials, you know, these very often might be found in the same application together. So if you need the gimbals with the stationary discs, we've got you covered. And Natalia, was there anything else you'd like to add about these 2 products?
No, it was mentioned that there will be a pop-up display featuring those 2 products, the gimbal, the microdisc, and then the BlazeGuard and Fulfillment America soon. So that's really exciting. I think otherwise it's nice to give, I guess, I really enjoy that black product. I think it's beautiful. Another important thing to say about it is that the housing is holistically black. It's not some weirdo trim that like leaves this white gap in the back when you adjust the eyeball. It's black the whole way through, which is kind of nice.
Absolutely, that's a great point. So you don't have to worry about it arriving scuffed on the job site. That's great.
Otherwise, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this, Kyle. But yeah, that was a big overview about what's going on in Indoor Loom.
Moving on, my buddy Gerardo has a TrueWave microdisc selectable that I know many of you on the call have been waiting for because this is a replacement to a product we previously had. So a couple key features about this product. I would say the biggest one is that it can be installed handless, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But this is available 4-inch, 6-inch. It is also 5 CCT selectable, as well as wet location and IC rated. Another key benefit to this features our TrueWave technology, and TrueWave is exclusive to LEDVANCE. As you recall, there's kind of the 4 key benefits to that. So number one, a lot of LED products rely on a blue pump behind a yellow phosphor. So we've kind of bred that big punch of blue at the front of the spectral output of this product. So the spectrum actually more closely follows the natural spectrum of the sun with TrueWave. And you're getting higher CRI, so better color rendering, but you don't have any of the dropout or the loss that you have with other products as far as giving up some lumens per watt to get the high color rendering. As well as this chip phosphor package combination, it also improves dimming, and it's also less likely to flicker. So those are the 4 key benefits of TrueWave technology. And as I mentioned, TrueWave is exclusive to LEDVANCE. We have a full product family of LED lamps with TrueWave technology on board. So you can retrofit just about any fixtures, and now recessed as well, if you want the TrueWave technology. So as I mentioned, this is replacing the previous high performance LED microdisc 4-inch and 6-inch. That switch is super easy to set. It is located just right on top of the junction box housing. And as I mentioned, you have 2 different options for installation. So you can go totally canless because that junction box is empty. So you can basically remove one of the knockouts and run your wire straight into there, make your electrical connections. Don't need any kind of a can. It has the spring-loaded clips that hold it up against the ceiling for a nice tight installation. You have the V-springs. So if you want to remove those drywall clips and install the V-springs so that you can retrofit a recessed can, we even include the E26 socket adapter to make it super easy to retrofit a recessed can. And by the way, maybe you have a mix on your job. You can use this for either one. So maybe you have some existing cans, but then you need to add some more freestanding cans down a hallway or in other areas. This versatile product, you can use one product to do both. I believe that's everything I had on this product. I don't know if Gerardo's available. Anything I missed, or if we have any questions on it.
Yeah, so I think you covered all the points. Yeah, this is 2 items that we're using, making it better. So yeah, so the product is ready. It's available in the warehouses. So if anybody has need it now, so it's good to go. It's ready.
So much. To industrial. Talk about a project-focused linear high bay that we're really excited about. If any of you visited our Light Fair booth last year in Las Vegas, I think you saw this on display. And we've worked really hard to bring this product to market. Our value class linear high bay 6A. There's a few key features to this product. So the compact design is going to help minimize shipping costs. It also makes it lightweight and super easy to install. We have all the accessories available that you need, as well as DLC 5.1 listed for utility incentives. We have a full product portfolio of CCTs, as well as wattage/lumen outputs up to 42,000 lumens. And 100,000-hour L70 lifetime, in addition to the drivers 120 to 347 for our friends in Canada. This product will be a direct replacement for the linear high bay 3A. It's kind of our value class high bay right now. Direct replacement, 14 SKUs will replace 16 SKUs. And kind of comparing your two options of our current portfolio from LEDVANCE. So we still have our dual selectable linear high bay 5A. Dual selectable is nice because it allows you to stock one product that fits multiple applications. But there's also times, primarily on projects, where you need that fixed wattage and that fixed CCT. And linear high bay 6A is great for that. As I mentioned, the aluminum housing is a more compact design, and it is cast aluminum construction, which makes it easier to handle and install. And that aluminum construction also increases your heat dissipation. And as everybody on the call knows, especially with high bays at a higher mounting height, not always the most conditioned space, heat is your number one concern with high bays. So that aluminum construction helps ensure that long life and high efficiency. And here you can see the form factor is getting a little bit more compact. So I believe we have 1 or 2 foot form factors, a little bit smaller than the high bay 3A that we're using today. And looking under the hood at a few of the design features that are baked in. So number one, we have cross ventilation through the driver box. So that improves airflow, helps even further manage the heat. The heat sink is ribbed into the aluminum housing to help increase heat transfer away from the LEDs. LEDVANCE, we cast our logo into the housing. So this is a LEDVANCE exclusive form factor design. We still have accessory knockouts on both ends of the fixture, in addition to a pre-wired sensor base, and that is ready to accept a compatible microwave or PIR sensor. So no waiting for made to order to get a sensor on this product. That is something that we stock in our distribution center and can be very easily field installed. I mentioned, we have all the mounting accessories that you're going to need for nearly any high bay application. The V-hooks and the 3-foot mounting chains are included in the box, but we also have surface mounting and suspension accessories as well as wire guards. We will have some made to order options for you. So one of the biggest ones is going to be 480 volt operation, EMBB. We can do an IO lens, or we can do cords with L5 or L7 plugs down the road. And as I mentioned, so this is a replacement for the 3A. There'll be a steady transition. Most of the stock is expected to either be here already or should be here by the end of May. And I believe that's everything I wanted to cover on this product. So Eric, is there anything else you'd like to add, or do we have any questions?
I think you did a great job, but I'd love to be able to field any questions if they have any. I don't see any in the chat box.
There are a few. So what is the temp rating on the linear high bay?
So it's rated for 50 degrees C, negative 40 to 50 degrees C, ambient.
Okay, and then another question, will the LEDVANCE link sensor fit this directly?
So currently the LEDVANCE link sensor will, with a couple of different options. So from a microwave, for a PIR motion sensor, it will install in the knockout at the end. That makes it both Bluetooth and has that PIR sensor. And then it will talk to other fixtures in that installation with the Bluetooth power pack installed inside those. So it would be an accessory you'd add to this fixture. We are currently working on a secondary accessory that will allow the Bluetooth sensors to screw directly into the sensor base that's installed in the fixture, which makes it a little bit easier than the current products that have to be wired in.
Awesome. And then one more, internal or external EM?
The emergency backup ballast is external. It fits in the back of the driver housing, and the reason for that is just from a heat and space perspective. Again, this is a very compact product, and the emergency backup ballast actually is quite robust and takes up a lot of space, and it wouldn't physically fit inside the ballast housing.
Okay, and then one more. Did you say there was or was not an aisle lighting lens option?
So yeah, the IO lens can be, we'll stock the base product, we call the base product, which will be the wide distribution, and then our LSOD facility can swap the lenses out and make an aisle distribution.
Awesome. That's all the questions that I see so far. So thanks, and keep the questions coming.
One more product for Eric, so don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the Value Class UFO High Bay 4A. Thing you know and love about the UFO High Bays from LEDVANCE. Some of the improvements, it's a lighter weight fixture. So once again, designed for easy and safe installation. And it does include multiple mounting options for a variety of applications. So a little bit of flexibility if you want a pendant, hook, or surface mount it. There is an optional field installable emergency battery backup available for this product. I know that was something we've been looking for. And then it is pre-wired for that field installable motion and daylight sensor as well. 4A will be replacing the 2A, so we're replacing 32 SKUs with 60. One of the other things I believe we added to this is we now have a 200-watt high efficiency version that we did not previously have. So if your customer's looking to save additional energy, maybe they have, well, maybe not thousands, but something greater than a 400-watt metal halide, or they need higher light levels, but they want the high efficiency, that 200-watt may be a great solution for them. Do still have our dual selectable UFO High Bay 3A. So basically, some of the key differentiators, we get a little bit more lumens per watt. We're 170 LPW instead of 144 with this product. We've also added 347 volt for our friends in Canada, as well as that 200-watt high efficiency option. And by the way, this product will be available in white or black. Under the hood in a little more detail. So number one, it is a molded polycarbonate lens. I think I forgot to mention this product is NSF listed, and I believe it's wet location as well. So, very robust, hard-working type fixture for a lot of different applications. It does have that sensor base built into the face of the product that will accept a PIR or microwave sensor, and a little bit of LEDVANCE branding. We added the orange highlights so you can identify from the ground. Accessories that we offer today are able to transition over to the new product. So if you need the refractor, reflector, low bay lens, the wire guard, that football style EMBB, or that motion sensor, all of those are available for this product as well. And looking at made to order options. So this is another thing I know many of you have been asking for, and we now have a solution at our made to order facility. So number one, we will be able to do 480 volt with the 4A UFO, as well as we've got some new made to order options as far as a longer cord. We can go to 10 feet, or with a plug, we can do an 11-foot L5 or L7 plug as well. And that basically extends the existing 6-foot cord. That was everything I wanted to cover on this. Eric, did I miss anything?
No, again, I think that you did a good job covering it. And it's just important. I want to highlight the fact that this is the 4A is in addition to the 3A. So we'll have both the dual selectable and these fixed wattage versions as well.
Questions in the chat?
So there is one. Is the light source the same size as the UFO 2A?
So no, when I say the light source, I assume we're talking about the overall fixture, and I guess it doesn't matter. Is fixture and or the diameter of the actual light bar inside is slightly smaller. So just roughly speaking, the 4A is about 11 inches in the 150 watt, which is the high volume. The 150 watt is about 11 inches in diameter versus about 11.8 for the 2A. So it's slightly smaller in diameter. It's also at least 2 inches less, has less height. So what we were able to do was increase the heat dissipation using a better heat sink design to pull more heat away from the back of the fixture, and also away from there are some more ribs now in the actual driver that mounts to the back of the UFO. And so we were able to mount both the driver closer to the heat sink, or closer to the the big section of the light bar. So overall, the height of it is about 2 inches smaller, which gets us a lot more compact fixture overall, better loading, easier to ship, a little easier to install, and certainly takes up less space on the shelf in distribution.
Awesome. And another question. Why is this not offered in lumen/Kelvin selectable in the UNH?
Came down to the 3A is the lumen Kelvin selectable version, and that came down to the availability and cost of the dual selectable driver. So we weren't able to make that selectability on outside switches in the UFO. It had to be done at the driver's side, and just from a cost perspective, it was not cost effective for us at the time of the 3A design.
Okay. That's all the questions that I see so far.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. We're switching gears now. We're going to talk about some LED tubes. We've got several different options coming down I think you're really going to like. One that I am extremely excited about because I've missed some projects in the past. We now have a lead-lescent extended performance lamp with an extended life. It's a 70,000-hour product. It comes standard with a 7-year warranty. It is also a frosted nanoplastic product. We carry this in 5 different CCTs. Also super excited that this is dimmable on select compatible phase cut dimmers at 120 volt as well. Only thing to let you know, it is a reduced lumen output. It is 1650 lumens. But I think in a lot of applications where you're going after that energy savings, because you're able to cut this lamp down to 10.5 watts, I think it's really going to help your payback, and that lumen package won't hurt you in the long run. So our existing portfolio. And as you can see, we still have our lead-lescent nanoplastic products, so that kind of fills out the rest of the portfolio. So the XP is available in 4 feet. If you need the 2 foot, the 3 foot, the U-bends, that kind of stuff, we still have those in our nanoplastic. As well as our workhorse product, the lead-lescent T8 ballast-free lamps are still available in frosted glass. So as I mentioned, this is net new, so it is not replacing anything. We will be stocking 6500K. I forgot to mention that as well. Jody, is there anything I missed on here? Do we have any questions?
I don't see any questions. However, it does say it there on the slide, but this also comes with a 7-year warranty.
Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, excellent. And then I know we've got quite a few tubes to run through. So if it's all right, Jody, I might try to cover 2 more and then I'll bring you back for questions here.
Sure.
So relaunching a couple of our lead-lescent ballast-free products. So our T5 high efficiency family. So that is the ballast bypass product. We have the whole family of 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot lamps. As part of the relaunch, these will now be dimmable down to 10% on select phase cut trailing edge dimmers, and that's 120 volt only. And let's see. Mentioned. So this will directly replace the lead-lescent T5 HEs that we currently sell. And as you can see, we have the full product family, so 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, as well as all of the color temperatures that you need. So full portfolio. I know some of our competitors don't have that. We've got you covered here at LEDVANCE. And then closely related, we also have our lead-lescent ballast-free T5 HO lamps doing a relaunch as well. This product is also dimmable down to 10% on select phase cut trailing edge dimmers at 120 volt. These can be a huge energy savings for you because, as you all recall, T5HO, that's like a 54 watt lamp. So we can go back with a 24 watt, more than cut your energy use in half. So huge energy savings potential with a ballast-free relamp with this product. We will also be adding a 2-foot version. We did not previously have that, but we have a lot of calls for that. And then the 4-foot will be a direct replacement to the one that we sell currently. Anything else we want to add on these two?
The only thing people might wonder why we're quote relaunching, but the 4-foot now will meet the DLC 5.1. So that's the main reason for the upgrade.
Nick, I think I saw a couple questions come in.
The 2 and 3 foot are not dimmable. That's correct.
Switching gears now, if there are no other questions, we've got a couple of substitute products. That's our ballast driven to talk about as well. So very similar, the T5HE, we sell this in 2-foot, 3-foot, and 4-foot. This has the benefit of plug and play operation. So this is able to operate on select compatible existing ballasts. So very easy for somebody to swap out, realize the benefits as far as energy savings and longer life with LED without having to make a permanent fixture modification. Our 4-foot also meets DLC 5.1 because it is dimmable down to 10% when paired with 0 to 10 volt compatible dimmers and ballasts. And this will be a direct replacement for the substitute T5HE that we currently sell. And when I say T5HE, I'm talking about the lower wattage T5. So that's FP 14, 21, and 28 replacements. And then just like with LEDVANCE on the substitute side, we'll also be relaunching the substitute T5HO replacements as well. So once again, all the same benefits, plug and play lamp operation on the existing ballast if compatible, so there's no need to modify that fixture. We also are compatible with select 347 volt ballasts for our friends up in Canada. And this does meet DLC 5.1 because of that dimmability. And this will be a direct replacement for the substitute T5HO that we currently sell. Jody, anything else on the substitutes?
No, I think you hit it. I mean, the main driver again is meeting the DLC requirement for dimming. I do see a question about working on a battery backup, and is that with respect to the substitute product or the LEDVANCE that we just talked about? I'm not sure from that question. But in general, the LEDVANCE does work on EMBB. It has to be specific for LED, not fluorescent. And for substitute, we do have a compatibility list that has the emergency inverters that they are compatible with, yes.
All right, I know we've got a couple more tube options, so we'll keep going here. Next, we have a LEDVANCE 8-foot one-piece ballast-free lamp. This will be a direct replacement for the ones that we currently have. So this is a straight 8-foot for FA8 single pin type applications. It does require ballast bypass, so you eliminate that ballast mortality down the road by wiring this up to mains. This 8-foot unit is a continuous one-piece glass form factor, so it's a very close match to your traditional form factor. And I know we've had a lot of customers who want to kind of stick with the 8-foot lamps, so this is a great solution for them. Let's see, and this new product does meet DLC 5.1 as well. And as I mentioned, it will be a direct replacement to our existing 8-foot single pin 34 watt solutions. We're able to shave a couple watts off of each lamp, get you down to 32 watts with this. Jody, anything else we wanted to cover on this one?
No, sorry, I'm answering some other related kind of related questions in the chat, but no, this product, as you may remember, we had gone away from the one piece in favor of the two piece to aid with some logistical issues. There are some outlets that just want the traditional one piece solid. So that's why we brought this back. And as you mentioned, DLC compliant. So that's it.
One final product, and then Jody will be done with me here. We are expanding our Dulux pin-based offering as well. So hopefully everybody on the call knows that we have a very aggressive portfolio of pin-based lamps. So if you want substitute ballast driven, if you want leadlescent ballast bypass, or if you want the dual type AB, that'll work either way. We have pretty much got you covered with a very extensive product offering in Dulux that we're adding a few more options to. So what we are adding is an ultra thin pin-based lamp. So this is going to do a couple of things. So number one, it'll be able to fit a wider range of fixtures because of that slim form factor. But number two, it allows us to branch out into a couple of new bases that we didn't previously have, the 2G7 and 2GX7. And this is actually pretty cool. I actually got to quote one of these yesterday to a customer. So I know there are requests for that straight line 4-pin. I believe that's a 13-watt replacement. So just even expanding our capabilities further with this product line. So there are some net new products, but we do have a phase in, phase out. So some of our substitute Dulux lamps, specifically the 6-watt horizontal, those will be replaced by a dualescent. That's our type AB. So it works line voltage or on ballast, and it'll now be a 5.5 watt. We will also be adding, let's see, the 3000K. That's a popular request that we've had. So 3 SKUs going to 4 on that. And then net new, we have 12 new SKUs, and those are the slim form factor as well as the 2G7 base. So I think that was everything I wanted to cover. I know, Jody, you had some points on some states are proactively, kind of moving away from fluorescent. Can you talk about what that kind of looks like?
Sorry, I can't unmute and type at the same time. Yeah, so we're seeing more and more. We just got notification that 2 states that had closed the loophole on the federal legislation are now going to full fluorescent bans by 2025. So as more states continue to make fluorescent lamps public enemy number 1, we will continue to try to add to our portfolio of LED replacements, including some of the lower volume LED types right now that will increase once the fluorescent is not able to be sold in many avenues. And future on, we expect the federal ban. So we are trying to position ourselves to be ready. And yeah, any gaps that you might see, please do not hesitate to offer them up for us to consider. I appreciate that.
Did we have any remaining questions before we move on?
I don't see any, and thank you all for your attention and appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jody. Moving to components, we have a couple of LEDVANCE branded ballasts from our friend Marjorie in product management. Starting with a T8 ballast. So we are bringing to market some products that basically expand our sources for our top selling high efficiency instant start normal and instant start low ballast factors. So these are very compatible in form factor, performance, all of that with the Quictronic QHE that you're currently purchasing from LEDVANCE. And as you can see, these will be a direct replacement for the Quictronic that we sell currently. And packaging wise, I forgot to mention, so these T8s are a banded package, so that makes them easier for individual sale over the counter as well. And then just looking at some of the product specs between the Quictronic and the new LEDVANCE brand T8 ballast, as you can see, the housing is about the same size. They are a little bit lighter weight, but very comparable. And then same performance as well as the banded packaging for individual sale. And then I'll introduce the T5s and then we'll bring Marjorie on to answer any questions. So we're also coming to market with a T5 high efficiency solution as well. This is going to be normal ballast factor only, but it is program rapid start for your T5s. And you have less than 10% total harmonic distortion as well as series circuitry. So very easy replacement, direct replacement for Quictronic solutions. And there could actually be some additional advantages, specifically with the form factor as we move to LEDVANCE from Quictronic. So as you can see, the legacy housing was about 14 inches long. The replacement housing will be 9.5 inches long, so it may fit additional applications. The other thing, we have added the leads. So on the Quictronic, it had push-in connectors. We have the leads, and once again, it is banded for individual sale. I want to be careful to point out that this is not a PIPO. We will continue to offer Quictronic. This is just another avenue or another solution for our customers to consider. In summary, the most of these LEDVANCE products are available today. Looks like our 3X32 on the T8 replacement will be available in. Was there anything I missed? That's okay. Do we have any questions in the chat while we're waiting?
So there's just one. Is it compatible with LED T8 tubes?
No, that I'm not sure. I know that we've tested this successfully with fluorescent. I'm not sure. I'll have to circle back to you on compatibility with tubes. Definitely something we'll want to have an answer for. Great point.
Marjorie, you're on mute. I don't know if you're trying to assist with any of these questions. I think, Kyle, I think you're good to move forward.
Sounds good. Yeah, if we probably will have a little bit of time for questions at the end too. So if we don't get to your question, we can revisit in a couple minutes here. And that brings me to our final product family. We are very, very excited to branch out into commercial electric vehicle charging solutions. This is an area that we have some experience in other parts of the world. And we're able to share that experience, that knowledge, that background to bring a level 2. That's a commercial charging station. So this isn't like the charger that comes with the car and you use it at home. This does require a heavy duty connection to electrical power. Generally speaking, this can charge a car in about, I believe, 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours. So it is a heavier duty charger, so it is a little more commercially focused. But a very high quality product backed by a 5-year limited warranty, super rugged construction. So it is a NEMA 4 enclosure and it is IK08 impact resistant. So it will hold up for years and years of indoor and outdoor use. This does have a pre-installed cellular connection as well. So it can, I believe, operate on Wi-Fi, but it also has the cellular connection as well. And speaking of the software, so we have partnered up with an organization called Amp Up. So they have a suite of kind of property management features. So that installing location has some control over being able to charge people for their electricity, or just kind of the real-time analytics, multi-site management, load management. Just about anything you want to do, Amp Up software is extremely versatile and flexible for that commercial user. One final slide, I do want to let you know we have all the accessories available for a commercial application as well. So we will have a pedestal base, 4-foot as well as 8-foot. We have the ability to mount 2 chargers on the same pedestal or just one. Obviously, all the cord management and all of that good stuff. As well as I believe we have some functionality to do some custom graphics work as well. Now, before I bring the product manager, Alex, on the line to answer any questions, or I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I probably missed in my presentation here, but I know one of the concerns that our customers have is, this is kind of new. This might not be something that distributors have a lot of experience with. They're not sure how to get started. So I do want to let you know that we are working on a plethora of resources to help folks get up to speed, identify the opportunity, understand the different avenues of electric vehicle charging, because there is a tremendous opportunity out in the marketplace for not only growth, but it's also being fueled by like utility and tax incentives. I know I live in St. Louis. Our building codes have actually changed. If you want to build a new commercial building with X number of parking spaces, you have to install electric vehicle charging on a portion of those. We're seeing that in markets all across the United States, as well as a huge commitment on the part of the federal government as well. Charging, I know it sounds, a little bit different or a departure, but when you kind of dig into it, it is a lot like the lighting customers, the contractors that we call on today. And those contractors are getting calls for this. So, we definitely want to be a leading voice in this market. We'll bring on Alex. How did I do? Did I cover everything?
I do know that Alex is having a little bit of connection issues since he's currently at a hotel, so we may be able to hear him, fortunately.
Okay. Well, no problem. Did we have any questions come into the chat about EV charging?
So there is one. Is this CSA approved for installation in Canada?
That is a very good question. I'm not sure. I will have to look into that and circle back. Let's say certified installation in Canada.
And Alex, if you want to answer some of the questions in chat as well as we take them here. Another question came in. Is there a way to charge the users for the charger?
Percent. No, that's a great point. So this is a commercial charger, and it can be a revenue generating activity for your business. Using the Amp Up software, you can set like a rate on the electricity that people draw. So it's pretty cool with that cellular communicator. This really does become a standalone revenue generating feature for your business if you want it to be.
Awesome. I don't see any other questions in chat. So I believe we're good to wrap up.
Excellent. Well, my final thing that I wanted to mention to folks is we will be at Light Fair in a couple of weeks. It's May 22nd to 25th in New York, New York. Be at the Javits Center this year. On that Tuesday evening of Light Fair, our customer event, we're doing a cruise that departs from Pier 81 at 7:15. Should be a really great time. I've done some of those river cruises around the Hudson and the East River before to see all the monuments and stuff, and I know it'll be a first-class thing. I hope you all can join us. If you need passes or more information about Light Fair, please don't hesitate to reach out to your LEDVANCE representative. Of course, we'd love to see all of our customers there in addition to our agent partners. So with that, I think that's everything I had today, Nick.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. So I just, before we end, I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined today. Thanks for bearing with us with any connection issues. I just want to have a reminder that this is recorded. We'll be sending out a recap email next week with a recording in the slide deck. A big thank you to Kyle who presented and all of the product managers on the line. And with that, that ends the May 2023 product launch from LEDVANCE, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Thank you.
Everyone.